The Indian Forest Services officer of the 1986 batch, Mr. Manoj Pant, has had a long and distinguished career spanning over 4 decades. Masters in Physics from IIT Roorkee, Mr. Pant has served the state of Jammu and Kashmir's Forest Department besides serving in the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India as Joint Secretary, as Chief Vigilance Officer, Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited, and Director of Youth and Sports Services in the state of Jammu and Kashmir. He was also a faculty at the Doon School in Dehradun. After his retirement as the Principal Chief Conservator of Forests, Jammu and Kashmir, he has joined the National Foundation for Communal Harmony as its Secretary.
परम आदरणीय डॉक्टर प्रोफेसर विश्वनाथ कराड़ जी, डॉक्टर मिलिंद पांडे जी, dignitaries on the dais, members of the faculty, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to all of you. I am Manoj Pant, Secretary, National Foundation for Communal Harmony, and it is my privilege to be a part of the 26th Endowment Lecture Series and Orientation Workshop 2021. The topic that has been given to me is India becoming a Vishwa Guru Vision 2050, and I noticed that this topic has already been covered in the inaugural session by Honorable Swami Narasimhananda, and I must confess that I cannot match his knowledge and his wisdom, but I'll try to give a different perspective to this topic in my presentation. Actually, my presentation has 2 parts. First part is India, a Vishwa Guru, and second part is Vision 2050. About the first part, India being a Vishwa Guru, I'm sure everyone in the hall is convinced that India is going to be a Vishwa Guru in a very short time. In our lifetime only we'll see India as the Vishwa Guru in all fields. And Vision 2050 is a separate part of the topic where I want the younger generation to visualize, because I may not be around in 2050, to see what kind of India they want to have in 2050. So the 2 topics are separate. My take on India becoming the Vishwa Guru is very simple, and I'm going to focus on the huge resources that India has in terms of its youth, in terms of its young generation. So keeping the matter simple, I'd like to give some statistics. More than 50% of India's current population is below 25 years of age, and more than 65% of India's population is below the age of 35. 41% of the population accounts for less than 18% of age. I am trying to emphasize that India has a huge reservoir of youth, which is not matched by any other country in the world. And as per the UN projections, India will continue to have this advantage of young population, having the youngest population in the world till 2030 and even beyond that. India's population is 1.3 billion people, makes it the second populous country of the world. But the average age is 29, making it amongst the youngest populated nation in the entire world. And at this vast resources of young citizens enters the workforce, which creates a demographic dividend. Demographic dividend is where your population, the majority of your population is contributing towards the economy rather than the population which is dependent on the resources. And this India's unique demographic advantage is presenting a plethora of opportunities in today's dynamic world. So in part 1, I tried to explain to you, and we all know that India is having a huge advantage of having a comparatively younger population as compared to the rest of the world. Now this young generation of India, this youth of India is leading to rise in the middle class, high literacy rate, which is fueled by the aspiration of financial security and quality of life. The young generation is no longer sitting quietly and waiting for things to happen, it is making the things happen. And it is continuing to contribute the largest number of qualified engineers and doctors and technologists to the entire world. Most of the top doctors and engineers in the world, in the Western countries, come from India. At the forefront of new intelligence, be it space science research, engineering, social media, platforms, digitization of agriculture startup, India's youth are leading the world in every field. Overall rate of literacy among the youth has also gone up as compared to what the situation was, say, 40 years ago, with approximately 90% of the population being able to read and write. Everyone is having a smartphone now, so they are not only have the smartphone, but they are aspiring to use it to the best of its advantages that it has. It is also exposed to the social media platforms, use of gadgets for knowledge. Social media is also very active and the youth are very active, so not only are they innovating new things, but they are also putting in the social media, and they are also sharing their knowledge, their wisdom, and their experiences on the social media for the other population to benefit. And penetration of internet for digitally savvy population is only helping in that. The young people are accessing online resources that encourage learning and acquisition of skills, which were not there earlier. Now, increasing internet is opening up the number of opportunities to deliver education. Education is no longer confined to the classrooms. Now, education is accessible to anyone and everyone, whoever wants to make use of it. There are several modes, there are several channels through which the education can be imparted. And skill development is another field where the younger generation of the country is taking more and more interest every day. This is creating an optimal climate for the new industries such as e-learning and edutech. Now, about the job creation and entrepreneurship, we have innovative ideas using disruptive technologies, manufacturing automation, and internet-based services and sales, creating more opportunities that young and qualified Indians are tapping. Government also is supporting the young population, and various schemes of the government of India are for the benefit of the young population. Government has introduced Prime Minister Mudra Yojana, which is helping out the young entrepreneurs to establish their business or to improve upon their business. Financial institutions are also coming forward, which are reaching out to the younger population, and irrespective of your background, the financial resources are now available for the young generation to fulfill their dreams. This is leading to India's retail market, which stands at $883 billion US, is providing plethora of business opportunities. So the expectations are going up, lifestyle is being upgraded.
समस्त बंधू भगिनी आणि वारकरी भाविक भक्तांनो, तत्वज्ञ संत श्री ज्ञानेश्वर श्री तुकाराम महाराज यांच्या नावाने आणि विश्वधर्मी प्राध्यापक डॉक्टर विश्वनाथ दास कराड यांच्या अथक प्रयत्नाने साकार झालेल्या या विश्वशांतीच्या घुमटातून भागवत वारकरी परंपरेचा हा ज्ञान विज्ञानाधिष्ठित अध्यात्मशास्त्राचा दिव्य संदेश संपूर्ण मानव जातीला सुख, समाधान आणि शांतीकडे घेऊन जाईल याचा आम्हाला विश्वास वाटतो. जगभरातील मान्यवरांनी गौरवलेला हा विश्वशांतीचा घुमट लवकरच जगातील एक आश्चर्य म्हणून ओळखला जाईल आणि भारताला विश्वगुरू म्हणून मान्यता प्राप्त करून देईल अशी आमची प्रांजळ भावना आहे.